So obviously there were reports this week that the Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets tried to offer Patrick Beverley a veteran minimum contract to play on their basketball team. He obviously decided he's going to go over to Israel for the next 2 years on a $4 million deal to play over there. So do you think that the Pistons are still looking for a veteran backup point guard? I know you mentioned Tyus Jones, but maybe it's a trade market. Do you think that they really need to kind of look at that? Because you look at all the positions that they attacked this offseason, backup point guard, I think, is the one question mark where I don't really think it's set in stone yet.
Yeah, I still think they're in the market for one. Like I said, I already mentioned Tyus Jones. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Markelle Fultz is still out there as a possibility. You never know if they try to do some type of trade with the Chicago Bulls where they'll grab Lonzo Ball from them, pending he's healthy. That's a real big caveat right there. But I do think that they're in the market, still going to still be in the market for a backup point guard, just off of everything that we talked about. That Marcus Sasser is a guy that can come in there in pockets and play a role. But is he the guy right now to lead an offense with Cade Cunningham is off the floor? And right now I would say no. But again, it also depends on how they plan on staggering these minutes, because if Jaden Ivey's coming off the bench, yeah, he could back up Cade in some of those instances. We've seen Jaden Ivey as a facilitator. One could argue in the future maybe you could move Cade to shooting guard him and put Jaden at point. You never know. I'm just spitballing right now, but with the way the rotation is set right now, it looks like it could possibly be Beasley and Ivy competing for that 2-guard spot, and they still would need that backup point guard. So yeah, I still think they're in the market for one. I think Patrick Beverley would have been a great addition here, off of the simple fact that Patrick Beverley, you're not bringing him in for offense, but what you're bringing him in for is his tenacious defense. He's a loyal teammate, and with the team of the Pistons, where they're trying to pretty much take some things from the Lions, where they're talking about grit, Patrick Beverley is Black Air Force One's grit. He defines it. He's Black Air Force One energy. So I believe that is a guy that you hate to play against, but you love to have on your team. And I don't want to say it's a huge miss for them, but that would have been a solid get for this locker room.
Yeah, I talked about it earlier this week. Like, you hate playing against Patrick Beverley because he's just an irritant. But if he's on your team, he's going to have your back. Like, I know he got into some stuff with Isaiah Stewart this past offseason, or I think last year, kind of like messing with them in a pregame warm-up. But I guarantee if those two were teammates, they'd probably be like best friends, like 100%.
I mean, look at Pat Bev and Russ. Those two hated each other. When that team became teammates, they were like besties.
Yeah, I mean they became frenemies, if you want to call it that. But I kind of think when you hear the reports and you see the reports that they were looking to bring him in, I think that was kind of like an indication from the Pistons front office and the Pistons brass saying, like, we know that we have a lot of guards. We might want to start Jaden Ivey next to Cade Cunningham. We might want to put Beasley in there, maybe even Tim Hardaway Jr. But we think that, having a backup point guard, a veteran backup point guard, is needed for this team to get in the right direction in terms of just like manning the second unit. We know Jaden Ivey can do it. And I actually did that chart video yesterday, and I'm getting freaking cooked for it right now, 100%. Because I put Beasley in my starting five, and I'm getting cooked for it right now that I did not put Jaden Ivey. But hey, man, crazy things.
I would say this. I'm going to defend you in this regard. You have to think about this. Beasley has been mostly a starter in his NBA career. I mean, he started a lot when he was with Minnesota. He started pretty much every game he played last year with the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken. This is also a guy where if you put him next to Cade Cunningham, you're getting that spacing and that stretching the floor that you definitely need. You got a guy that is around, it could be wrong, about 45% from beyond the arc, but a little bit over, close to 40% from three-point range. I mean, that is who you want to have when you out there running the offense, that's the type of guy you want, Cade, being able to kick the ball to and know that he can knock down the open shot. So again, you got Fred Vincent in there to go ahead and improve Jaden Ivey, and you got Ivey for a couple of years. So I mean, that is still a project that you can go ahead and build along. You only got Beasley on a 1-year deal, but it's not crazy to say that Beasley should start next to Cade Cunningham. It's just it's maybe it's not popular, but it's not crazy to think it if you just really watch both of their games and how just trying to envision how he would play next to Cade.
Yeah, I mean, Pistons fans are very passionate. That's why I love them. I'm not mad that they're cooking me. I always tell them this. You guys can make fun of me. You can cook me all you want. I'll take it on the chin. I really don't care. But hey, man. I guess that's the part about actually putting depth charts out, like kind of just like putting it out there, because my depth chart, I guarantee you, I haven't even like clicked on the comment section, but it's already got like 55 comments. So I know
I'm probably going to get cooked too, because I was going to put Beasley in my starting 5. So I mean, I'll be right there with you.
Oh man, but I just to kind of wrap up this topic. Wouldn't surprise me if we do see them, and possibly, because there's been talks about them trying to absorb possibly a contract, or taking on draft picks. Maybe you get a backup point guard in that way. Markelle Fultz, I know, is a guy, but it's another guy that really can't shoot. Do you really want that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but he did bring in Fred Vincent, so I don't know if there's anything there that you could salvage, but I think most Pistons fans are pretty locked in on Tyus Jones. But again, his situation's weird, because he's like, I don't want to be a backup. I want to be a starter. I'm like, well, I don't know where you're going to be starting at, dude. I really don't know.